getting like a 10 for 1 right now. This is boxing. This is the beauty of the sport. This is what makes you a pugilist, okay? Oh, beautiful. Keep it flowing. So we got to talk about this big fight this weekend. Oh man, Tyson Fury, Wilder 2. That first fight was amazing. Fight definitely could have went either way. I personally thought that Tyson Fury maybe edged that fight, but I can see why you may be swayed to give it to Deontay Wilder after those 2 knockdowns. I mean, but honestly, Tyson Fury did, to me, the better boxing in that fight, but he did get dropped hard. And anybody other than that referee would have waved it as soon as he hit the canvas in the 12th round. You got to admit that.
I mean, maybe.
You have to admit that. I mean, as soon as he hit the ground, they would have just waved it.
A lot of people might have, jumped to the conclusion that he wasn't going to be able to get up, but it's a good thing you got a veteran referee in there, because then it would ruin the whole aspect of what the second fight could be. Because at that point, nobody wants to see it again. Maybe nobody wants to see it again, because I felt like he got thoroughly outboxed. That's just me. But Landry,
you are biased though, because you used to be in the Fury team. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, Eddie Chambers spent 2 years with Tyson Fury, lived with him, sparred with him, hung out with him. So you're a little biased.
A little bit, but I'm also biased to boxing. And we all know, including Deontay Wilder himself, knows he has the greatest boxing skills on planet Earth. But he has probably one of the biggest right hands, and I think we all can agree that unless he lands that, that's his best shot to win. Now, and including in the fight, the previous fight, when they knew a lot about each other too, just from watching afar. But even being in front of him, you could see Tyson wasn't. He was in shape. You got to be in 12-round shape when you get in there and fight for a title that big, in a situation that big. But he still wasn't as sharp or as good as he possibly could have been. He wasn't in, even aesthetically in the shape that he would. Even he says that he wasn't in the shape that he is now. So now, you could say it's an excuse, or.
So you're saying now, because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been keeping up with all the back and forth. Are you saying now that Tyson said that he's in better shape for this fight than he was previously for the first fight? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm gonna say it like this. I've seen Tyson have like 3 tires around his waist when he first came back after the David Haye debacle, and still move around like he was in top shape. So even him looking, and most people look at him like, man, he wasn't really looking that great in that last fight. He wasn't very swell. He was just he was not. But he didn't necessarily look the part. But how is he able to still do what he can do? Because that's just him. He's not gonna be a body beautiful. He's not one of those guys. But his skills, make up for it. So, but at the same time, I've actually seen him in good shape. I've seen him with like a little pack and all that in front, and I've seen him at his best. And I don't think that was it. So that's just me.
So even though he did great. So you don't think him in his first fight with Deontay Wilder was him at his best?
I don't think he was at his very best. I feel like there was a few things that maybe even he would iron out, and he knows. He even says it himself. Even his father.
Hold on. So let me ask you a question. He pitched a beautiful boxing clinic that night. I thought.
I did too.
Right?
I did too.
But he still couldn't avoid that right hand, right? Now hold on, before you go.
No, I ain't got no rebuttal yet.
He got knocked down, I believe, in the 6th or the 7th round, maybe the 8th.
7th. I think it was the 7th.
Somewhere in there, and then he damn near lost his soul in the 12th round, right?
Yeah.
Now, we saw Luis Ortiz also do very well in both fights. Including this most recent one, and the same outcome happened. He got knocked out. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I've been a Deontay Wilder non-believer, if that's what you want to call it, for a numerous amount of fights.
Okay.
I know you felt your ways about his boxing skills also.
Okay.
I think you said you think you could beat him, but we're not gonna go there right now, all right? But, dude, can Tyson Fury stay away from that right hand for 12 rounds, especially When a guy has the momentum that Wilder has right now, he has a super confident momentum. Is he going to be able to avoid that for 12 rounds? Because we all know it only takes one shot.
No doubt.
Have you seen a right hand like that ever in boxing history?
I don't know if I've seen a punch, like a one-punch scenario that's more feared than what his was. Now, you've seen fighters like Mike Tyson back in the day, George Foreman, even Ernie Shavers, guys like that. And Lennox with his big power too, that were feared. Same thing with Vladimir too. But he is big right hand too. But I don't think it's been this feared, quite like this. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not the biggest Wilder fan skill-wise, but we all know his right hand must got some poison on the end of it, because every time he touched somebody, it seemed like he puts him to sleep. But at the same time, there's not a lot of guys out there in this particular time that has fought him that have the ability to avoid it. Now, I felt like Luis Ortiz had the ability to do it, but I don't know, with his age, with sometimes his size, I think he's a little heavier than he needed to be, especially in that first fight. And sometimes when you get in there with someone and you see their skill level is so almost in the basement, and you just expect, like, man, it's just so easy that you fall asleep. Like, I feel like sometimes these guys fall asleep at the wheel. Like, they're in control, and it's like, man, I got this guy. And then all of a sudden, boom, big right hand comes out of nowhere, and it's over. So, the thing with Tyson that he has to do that all these other guys haven't done, and I give credit for Tyson, that Tyson has the heart to get in there and they'll exchange with somebody even with danger, but even with super dangerous situation like, Deontay Wilder's poisonous right hand. But you just got to be smart. You just got to be smart the entire fight. You got to stay locked in the entire fight. You got to make sure that you're not taking any unnecessary chances. Don't put yourself out of position the entire fight. It's going to take that kind of effort in order to win the fight.
Do you think that the scar tissue over his eye that now may play a factor? Do you see him getting cut early in this fight and maybe potentially getting stopped, or it just being a huge distraction, or do you think that it's not going to play a factor?
He can't have that in his mind in this fight, because the one thing that would be on my mind is to hit as many times as I can and stay out the path of that right hand, or force him to throw his right hand as much as possible. And what I mean by that is go at it, because then you know what's coming. You know that's his biggest weapon. You know that he wants to throw it every chance he can get.
Can you give me an example?
Okay, I'll give you an example. It's like most people when they fight southpaws too is another thing. Everybody worried about the southpaw, straight left hand. So if a guy's fighting, if you're a southpaw, I'm only doing this just to give you an idea. If you got a southpaw, most people say, oh, avoid that side, go this way, go this way. Kind of like Luis Ortiz when he was fighting Deontay Wilder. Him as a southpaw was avoiding his right hand. I get that. But when you're constantly going in that direction, now we know Deontay Wilder, kind of similar to what his name is, right? He's kind of wild with that right hand every now and again. So even if you're going away from it, like you can turn around now, and I'll be a southpaw for a second. Even if you're going away from it, if he's swinging wild, I mean, you could throw anything. And if I'm over here expecting nothing to come, boom. Or maybe he sets me up with his left hook. Maybe he brings that outside and forces me to stop for a second. Bang, that straight right hand come down the middle.
Why are we going southpaw?
So the reason I was saying, I was explaining, the fear of staying away from that side. And I'm saying that you don't always have to go away from it. You don't always have to go away from it. If you go to it, the idea of going to it now gives him the opportunity to throw it more. It's almost like drawing something. It's like drawing. It's like, so I'm drawing the right hand, so now I can get you to make a mistake. Maybe you boom, and I can throw mine, maybe. You know what I mean? And then roll back and get to this side. Now I'm away from it again. You know, I mean, there's so many different things you can do. Or I could draw it, make you come in, make you fall short, and like we talked about on one of the videos, check hook you over the top. Tyson actually did it in their first fight. You know what I mean? At least if you're going to it is what I'm saying. If you're going to it.
Do you think that Tyson Fury is disciplined enough
Absolutely.
to stay focused for 12 rounds?
I think of all that crap, all that stuff that we talked about, all of those strategies, you can say, like going to the right hand, avoiding the right hand, and all of that mean nothing if you can't stay intact the whole fight. Can't stay focused. Can't go with the game plan the entire fight. It's almost worthless, because if he catches you, it's over.
Does he have the power to knock out Deontay Wilder?
Absolutely.
We constantly talk about Deontay Wilder having power. Does Tyson Fury have the power? I don't ever hear anybody say he's gonna knock him out, but I heard Tyson Fury say he's gonna knock him out in the second round.
It's more than possible. It's more than possible. I'm not saying this just because I know Tyson. I'm not saying this because I feel like Deontay Wilder doesn't belong where he is. That's not true at all, because he wouldn't have 10 defenses. Well, it doesn't matter who's in front of you. If you beat him, you the man. So, another thing is too, there's another thing that we didn't really talk about when we were talking about, going toward the right arm, just going to Deontay Wilder in general. Deontay Wilder's not a great inside fighter. I think we know that he's not a great skill fighter, but like I said, he's one of the top guys out there because of his right hand. But that's another thing that Tyson could do. Tyson's a very big guy, maybe 250 pounds, maybe even a little more. His size, not just his length, but his size can play a part. We know Deontay Wilder's what, gonna be like 220 maybe a little lighter, maybe a little heavier. That's not a lot of weight. He's at a severe disadvantage in weight. Tyson can literally put that hand up, but if he's smart enough, which of course we know he is, and if he's got the dexterity and the craftiness to move his head off the line periodically and puts his hand up, we talked about that too. That gives the guy a belief that you're gonna be there for their big shots. So now I'm going to his right hand, all of a sudden I slide here, shot here, roll, bring shot over top of there, maybe I slide on this side, bring my right hand, like we talked about. You can walk a guy down.
Do you think Deontay Wilder has the power to maybe on the inside hurt Wilder with an uppercut? I mean, Fury with an uppercut. Because let's just say Tyson does that, and he's on the inside, now Wilder goes ahead and boom, shoots an uppercut.
Maybe.
Do you think he can knock out Fury with an uppercut? Or do you think he needs that leverage in order to shoot that right hand?
I honestly believe that he needs a little bit of distance. Now, he don't need a whole lot of distance. I'm not saying a whole lot of distance, but I do believe he needs a little more distance to comfortably land his right hand at the way that he really likes to land it. Not necessarily to say that he can't get good enough power to buzz him or maybe get an advantage, maybe raise his head up and throw a hook and then a big right hand over the top. Any of those types of things can happen. But I feel like Tyson's a much better inside fighter with more weight. And I don't want to say necessarily more strength. I don't know about that. I don't really know. But I think his weight and his ability on the inside, because Tyson's a very underrated inside fighter, people don't really know it, can really, really just push Wilder in a position that he's not comfortable.
All right, so let's go ahead and let's wrap this up. I don't want to keep talking about the same things over and over again. No, it's good. It's good. You put some good points. I need a final prediction, and I need you to make a choice here, Eddie. And and if it's a knockout, I need a round. Okay. If it's a decision, I need a point average of what you think the final scorecards are gonna be. I don't need no general. I need exact, because we're gonna come back to this.
Oh yeah.
If you're right.
If I'm right or wrong, and look, I could be either the two. I got a 50-50 chance, or no, actually maybe a 25% chance if I'm picking a round, or maybe even less than that. But well, I'm obviously picking Tyson, and it's not because I don't think Deontay has what it takes to win. Obviously, everybody knows he got that ugly monster right hand, like got some black mamba poison on the end of that thing. So there's always a chance of that, and that's an easy pick out of nowhere. You can close your eyes and say that, and it actually might happen. But I'm gonna say Tyson, maybe middle to late round stoppage, if he does what I think he's gonna do. And the reason I'm saying that, I think maybe in the first few rounds or so, he's gonna box him a little bit, into the jab, a lot of feints, a lot of uncertainty, make him move in positions he doesn't want to be. Kind of similar to what we did in the first fight, but I think a little sharper. And then I think as the fight wears on, Deontay may start to suck air a little more, not necessarily thinking that he's not in shape. He's always in shape, I give him that. And he's got a world-class heart, so he's gonna try no matter if he got breath in his body. Deontay Wilder's gonna try. So, but I still think that the pressure that Tyson adds to the fight from the middle rounds on is going to be the difference in maybe 9, 10, maybe 11. I'll pick 10. I'll pick a nice round number like 10. Maybe he's on the stool. Maybe he gets dropped and stopped.
I'm gonna go ahead and this is hard.
It is.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my brain is split in half, because I was gonna say my brain tells me Fury, but my heart tells me Wilder, but that's not the truth. One side of my brain tells me Fury, the other side of my brain tells me Wilder. I really don't have my heart invested into this fight, so I can't say my heart. I'm not a bigger fan of either fighter. I'm fans of both equally. I think that Tyson Fury has more of a style that I teach. If I was to call either one of those fighters my fighter, but I just think that Tyson Fury's been dropped numerous times in his career by lesser punchers,
but has gotten up and won,
but
including in the last fight.
I just think that if he gets dropped in this fight, I don't think he's getting up. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Deontay Wilder by knockout. I don't know what round. I'm gonna go ahead and probably say might be early, man. We might see Tyson Fury get knocked out in the first few rounds with a shot if he gets too brave. But if the fight wears on and goes further into the fight, it's probably gonna the skills are probably gonna pay the bills. So you know, my variable there is if it goes late, I see Tyson Fury pulling ahead and taking over. But I got to make a choice. He picked Wilder. I got to be the devil's advocate and pick Deontay Wilder.
I picked Fury.
You picked Fury, my bad. You picked Fury. I'll pick Wilder by knockout, and only because I've seen that chin checked a few times, and I just feel like that stays with you. I feel that when you've been knocked down that hard by a fighter, or if you've been knocked out by a fighter, I just feel like that never leaves a fighter. I feel like a fighter will always keep those thoughts in his brain at some point, and only very few fighters in history, like a Lennox Lewis, have been able to come back from knockouts like that and shown that they can come back and win. Most guys, once they lose like that, they don't come back. But
or win.
Or win.
Draw.
Yeah.
But it's this, and I'm gonna agree with you 100% on the early part of it. But as far as the knockdown thing, I've seen Tyson get knocked down before, not necessarily in the gym, but I've seen him happen in fights. I've seen him take crazy chances, you know, put himself in bad spots where I didn't agree with what he was doing, and like I said, come back to win and do really well. Now remember, in that last round, like we talking, he got dropped real ugly. You know, they looked real bad, but he got up and dominated the rest of the round. So
I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, guys, I don't want you guys to get this twisted, because I mean, I know you guys come to my channel to learn boxing and know my boxing IQ. My boxing IQ says Tyson Fury.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, I just want to be clear here. I think Tyson Fury is 10 times the boxer that Deontay Wilder is. But we're talking about winning and losing right now. And I've seen guys like Ricardo Mayorga beat Vernon Forrest, and that was a non-skilled fighter against one of the most skilled middleweights. If you guys don't know who those guys are, just pull them up. You know, rest in peace, Vernon Forrest. But he lost twice to Mayorga, and it had nothing to do with skills. It had something to do with something else. You know what I mean? I think that Deontay Wilder has that something else, and I think that that's the neutralizer in this fight. So I just think that you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with what's happening right now in boxing. That's the knockouts by Fury. I mean, by Wilder. But this is the year of upsets. All right, I've seen a few things happen this year that and late last year that were upsets. So hey, man, Tyson might just come in there and just show this guy, man, there's levels to this. And if he could do that, if Tyson Fury can avoid that right hand, he will expose Deontay Wilder. So this is a good fight. I don't know who to pick. I don't know who I just picked. Who the hell did I just pick?
I think you picked Wilder.
I don't know. I'm
might have picked Tyson.
Who knows who I just picked? It's gonna be a great fight this Saturday. Make sure you guys watch it. I'm promoting you guys for free, even though everybody's gonna watch it anyway. But
Right.
Make sure you check it out. Leave your comments below. Let us know who you guys think is gonna win, Wilder or Fury, and let us know where you're from. United States, UK. We need to know. And much love to everybody out there. Boxing life. I'm like a 10-for-1 right now. This is boxing. This is the beauty of the sport. This is what makes you a pugilist, okay?